What up, what up, what up, what up? I am back. Yes, I took a little time off for myself, did a little focusing, a little meditating, became one with my yin and my motherfucking yang. But what I do know is y'all stuck with me through the thick and thin, and I do so appreciate you. Once again, this is the Spotlight on Hype-Radio.com. I am your man Shadow. We are 2.0 new and improved this year. 21 is a year, but I am still being heard, and I'm still holding it down in Northern Cali. Southern Cali, shout out to KDS Promotions. There is Vegas, shout out Lamont Cobb. The Loonies still go crazy. There is the South by Southwest. I'm down in Texas. Shout out Man for holding me down. That's my bro for real. And in my home place, you know how it is. Shout out to ATL, Miss Erica out there holding it down for me. Now, let me go ahead and go beyond the borders because I'm also in Ukraine, holding it down in a language that I don't even understand nor can't even understand. But it looks real cool on paper. You know, I see all the little shows with everybody do little magic tattoos and everything. I'm also in Cape Town, Africa. Shout out to my people. Can't say nothing to that, but you know, stay strong. And I'm down in Brazil. Now, let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. Because Brazil, I can't wait till the coronavirus shit is over. Because I need a trip. And Brazil is where I'm going. I'm holding it down. Shout out to Jenny D for holding me down there in Brazil. Tonight, on our first show back on the Spotlight, I can't really say one of the little homies no more because he ain't so little no more, but we going to talk about this grown man that's sitting next to me making his own destiny, making it just happen the way that he wanted to be. I got Mr. Jamie Jones of the Wild, go ahead, say the Wild Jones Podcast Network.
Yes, sir.
This is a Highlands great, y'all. You know, we hold it down on the north side.
Man, I appreciate you having me.
Man, brother, thank you for coming on.
I will forever be little homie. You are the big homie in Zach, and to
grown
me,
ass man.
salute.
Grown ass man. He doing it real tremendo.
Yeah.
So, earlier this week, I had the opportunity and pleasure to be on your show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I said it enough, but that was truly an experience. Thank you so very much for that experience.
Bro, that was fun.
Oh, it was fun all the way around. That whole flashback situation, man. Like, I forgot half the shit you were talking about. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, damn.
Yes,
but it was great touching back to the roots, to the depth of the soil. That's where it was from.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But
stand up.
Tonight, we're going to talk about the other side of that mirror.
I like it.
Because, brother, just conversating and touching base on some of the things you did just in conversation.
Yes, sir.
I should be little homie.
Nah.
Man, like y'all don't even know, but you gonna know tonight. So let's go ahead and let's start it all the way back. Let's go back today. Center High School, we done graduated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, big brother's doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to make your mark. You turned to hip hop.
I did.
Now, what in the hell made you think, you know what, I can sound like the artist on the radio, the artist on my CD, and I'm blapping in the neighborhood. What make you want to go stand in the studio and put your thoughts down across the microphone?
First time I ever thought about it. Salute to you. Salute to everybody out there, Jamie Jones. First thing that made me want to rap was Heavy D.
Oh, there it is.
I saw a big nigga. That the big niggas. I didn't see nobody that looked like me. Heavy D came out with big nigga, and he was hopping and dancing.
Okay, let me go ahead and put a pause in there because y'all looking at the slim and trim. I done trained at Uriah Favor's gym, Jamie Jones. I remember the Jamie Jones that looked like.
Yes. A lot fatter nigga.
He was a little comfortable.
True.
He was on the swole side. He was on the inflated side, but
yes, sir.
Went to the gym and got it all sexy.
I was 75 pounds heavier a year ago.
Ooh, 75 pounds ain't no joke,
yeah,
bruh.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to lose 20, and it's hard as hell.
It's hard, bruh. It's hard, bruh. I had to get on the intermittent fasting, man.
That's what I just started, and people be telling me I shouldn't be fasting because I get angry quick.
For most people, I say it's good. For you, I understand what they're talking about.
Hey, I've been trying to do, but I get my best results from it.
Damn right. So yeah, man, I saw Heavy D, and then I heard Be Legit rap.
Bila.
Be Legit had a
two
voice.
of your. That's two of your people.
He had a voice that was deep, and
Yep.
no one had a voice like mine, and I was always insecure about my voice. So once I heard Be Legit, and he was one of my favorite MCs, I thought I could rap. Like I wanted to do it, so I started writing and making beats with my friends, and we formed our little group, and we had we ran it up. We was just trying to impress the neighborhood, and make tapes for people to play in North Highlands.
Okay.
And then we ended up making a whole album. Then we got into Tower, and like '96, I think we ended up making an album that was in Tower, and a bunch of them from here to East St. Louis. We did our own distribution.
Okay.
Had a homie that was riding the train for one of the other homies doing this and that. And he would stop in cities and drop off CDs and tapes for us.
He was in
on
his
consignment.
pharmaceutical travel game.
That's what he was doing. He was on this train. Shout out to my nigga Boog.
Shout out, bro.
Yeah.
Woo, you a lucky motherfucker.
But he would stop and drop off CDs and do consignment deals for us in cities on the way,
Okay.
and hook us up. So we thought that was the wave, but it wasn't. Life got in the way, and we sold probably 8,000 copies of them, so we were happy with that. And I knew I was gonna be Jay-Z at one point in time, but life getting in the way. Niggas had kids, brothers go to jail, and all the rest of it starts happening. So life gets in the way. So I start, scrambling. I had a little kids club after watching you. I had a kids club at California Muscle called Club Cali way back in the day, where I had high school kids, and we were getting 1,000 kids a night. So it blew up out of nothing. Like $10 a head. Our parents dropping them off on the way to the club. They sells like.
So you running a daycare.
I was running a daycare with
Not mad. At $10 a night. Shoot.
With a DJ, I put a commercial on the radio, and they came from Vacaville, Cameron, but they came from everywhere. But
That was Mark's old gym, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shout out, rest in peace, Mark.
No, it was actually Rob.
Okay,
Martinson.
Rob.
You know
Rob and Mark were
Yeah,
partners.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so that I'm looking at my clock at 9 o'clock. Like, is this over yet? Because it's high school kids and I'm babysitting, so I'm making decent money, but it's not fulfilling me at all.
Shout out to that, because that was a brilliant idea.
It was pretty good, but we did have the cops coming every week telling me about a permit that I didn't have.
Yeah, but they're good for that.
And grouping, gathering, and dancing.
Noise
and,
ordinances.
Food
Yeah,
permit.
bro.
For selling Skittles and shit. I did
Yeah.
a food permit. So every week. And they wouldn't give me the whole list. They would come every Friday, tell me another thing that I was fucked up on. So it got heavy, man. So I was doing that, man, hustling around Sacramento, fucking selling weed, like trying to get it together.
Mr. Jones was into his pharmaceutical game also.
I started early. I ain't even gonna hold you. I started young, 18, 19 years old. Just weed, never no drugs. I was always scared of drugs. Just weed though.
Now,
Even back
technically,
then.
to the squares, isn't weed a drug? I might be one of the square people. 'Cause I thought, if you can get arrested for it, damn it, it's a drug.
I mean, now it's kind of like alcohol, right? Now it's pretty legal in most states. So
In
if
most
you're grown
states,
and
yeah.
you can. So I take it out of the drug, and I saw it back then as the same way most of y'all see it now. I was just early.
You were a visionist.
I was early.
You saw where it was going.
But
God
I
damn.
I didn't see an ending for it back then. This is 01, 02. I didn't see an ending for it except jail, where all my friends had been, and knock on wood, I hadn't been yet. So I just got married, had like a little midlife crisis at 26, and was like, I can't do this forever. I think I'm funny.
Midlife at 26.
So I'm gonna
Now,
move
see,
to
I know, I know where you're going from there, so I'm gonna cut you off from there. We're gonna go back to this midlife at 26, bro. How you have a midlife crisis at 26?
Because, man, I'm doing nothing but selling weed, and I didn't see a future in it. So I'm having a crisis of career. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just got married to my wife, and she's damn near a square, so I don't want to fuck up the whole house. I'm like, I don't know what I'm about to do right now, so I couldn't figure it out. I
Now,
was in a mode like I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life at this point in time, but I knew I needed a transition. That's why I kind of called it a midlife crisis. You could damn near call it an early life
Yeah,
crisis.
yeah, pretty much. But coming out of Highlands the way we did, we were square biz in Highlands. I know how my household was. I know how your household was. How was you juking coming out the Jones home?
Well, my dad was an animal, but he stayed on that back. So, but he always smoked weed, so he was never against that.
Okay.
And my dad had a tendency to like the rough guy himself, where I kind of became friends with. So my friends just came to do roughest niggas in town, like, you know. So I never was tough like that, but they was. So I would have to fight every now and then just because I was with them, and I would step in some shit with them. But I was never that tough guy. I was never trying to be. I came in with jokes and I laughed. But even when I played sports, I was looking in the crowd like, what they doing? Like, I'd rather be over with the homies.
Be kicking it.
I'd rather be kicking it. So that's why my brother was hardcore. I wasn't. And I didn't care like that. I'd rather be in the street seeing what was happening. So early I knew that. And I took that way of to the streets. It wasn't really drinking, but it was smoking weed. And out there, I loved watching it. Like at one of your clubs with niggas fighting outside.
Oh,
That's
I just didn't understand the niggas that wanted to fight me. Like,
Yeah.
you ain't built for that competition. I don't know what
Exactly.
you're thinking, bruh.
And 6 more running out
Man.
real fast.
Fast.
Oh man,
Okay,
Shadow
so-
used to throw a lot of clubs back in the day. If y'all didn't know, a lot of them. Almost every venue he's had a night at over the years, if it was the 90s or the 2000s.
From Hard Rock all the way to a zoo car and a station in Roseville.
Yes,
Woo.
sir. And he'd bring a few Hard Rocks because the girls would come. So you know the Hard Rocks got to come if the girls come. So it'd be a fight every now and then.
Every now and then.
I loved it, even though he didn't because it was causing him drama.
Okay,
But
let's go ahead and get
anyway.
inside of that one. I didn't really like it, but every now and then, you done had a rough day. You got tired hearing some bullshit. Just what you needed was a club fight. For that one motherfucker to look at you, first of all, I had to look up at you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll beat your ass. As I'm looking down like, dude, I am going to remix you.
But not today.
Okay, so we didn't have the little hip hop
yeah.
career.
So
we didn't
I'm,
have the midlife crisis. Now,
So I think
what you
I'm
do
funny, and I want to be a comedian.
good? A comedian. Now, that's a hard gig.
I'm Jamie Jones, the Weed Man, who's scared to try it in Sacramento because he's Jamie Jones, the Weed Man. And I'm insecure and some kind of sissy about trying embalming in front of people. Like, I ain't gonna front. It made me move to Los Angeles.
So you had to go all the way to LA to do comedy,
Before
man?
I'd ever gotten on stage. Never got on stage once. Like, just moved to a new city to do a thing I never tried.
That's
Me
crazy.
and my old lady. She was like, I live in LA, shit. She said it hella fast. I was like, I didn't even have to talk her into
You in
it.
the
She was
conversation,
just
let's go.
I was like, oh
She
shit.
started throwing dishes in boxes and shit.
Bro, I took a trip during
Shout
the
out
week.
to support.
Took a trip out during the week, went to the Comedy Store, saw Joe Rogan on stage.
Very
and he
funny
was-
man.
He was sucking that night.
What?
Now, mind you, it's a Tuesday night. I don't know the idea of this time of working on new material.
Okay.
His name wasn't on the marquee or nothing. He was just coming through the club to work on some new material.
Oh, okay.
So that material doesn't always kill. You
Right.
know, you got to find the good stuff,
Right.
and you got to find it in front of a crowd.
Definitely.
I don't know this concept.
Uh-oh.
I just see him being mediocre,
Oh, shit.
and I'm like, I could be mediocre like that. I'm like, that's all you.
Who shoots for mediocre and think that's cool?
I'm like, oh, I got so hyped. I was like, he's getting paid for this?
Oh.
I could do this. I immediately went to the hotel, started writing jokes. Like, just like, I called my brother in Canada from a hotel in Los Angeles in West Hollywood.
Shout out Kale.
The phone call was $250. We found out at checkout the next day. 'Cause I'm just so hyped. Like, oh, I figured out what I'm going to do. I'm moving here in 30 years. I'm writing these jokes. Joe Rogan wasn't funny tonight. I'm just all what?
Did KO put you kind of in reality?
Nah, he's just like, sounds cool, because it's like 11:30 at night. I think I woke him up. And he's just like,
He just
"No,
wanted to go back
sounds
to
cool.
sleep."
I'm glad you're happy about something, bro." He's like, I'm just glad you're not being a loser." That's kind of what my brother was like. I'll listen to it.
Gotta love KO.
I'll listen to it. It's productive. It's not to borrow money for a drug deal or something. I'll listen to this.
Okay.
So after that night, 35 days later, me and my wife lived in LA. We had an apartment. I found it. It was All-Star Weekend in LA that Friday. Ran home to Sac, dropped her off, picked up the homie, came back for All-Star Weekend because I got keys to an empty apartment. So we gonna kick it.
We
But
might
now,
be telling ourselves right now, but hey, we are different people.
so I live in LA. I started out, I got on stage probably 4 or 5 nights a week for about 6 or 7 years, and loved it. Loved it every time. Loved the feeling of making people a crowd laugh. It's a high that it's better than weed. I can't even front.
Now, besides writing the material out, was there something that you did to get a little prepared? Because I understand there's classes for comedy now. You know,
There was.
They got classes for everything now.
And I took one when I first got to
Did
LA.
you?
They had like a stand-up comedy class at LA City College. It was like one of those workshop classes where
Okay.
it's 6 classes, you pay some money, and I just really wanted to go learn the lingo of how they talk about stand-up and
Okay.
how they talk about formulating a joke, and
Okay.
just so I knew how it was spoke about. So, you know, I didn't know anything. So I went in, and at the end of the class, you go do a night at a comedy club.
Nice.
And so we went and did my first ever show in Pasadena at the Ice House, and I killed. That's what was the cool part. I killed. Like, the crowd was laughing. I'm sure they were there to laugh. Everybody's friends supporting them, so they were there to laugh. But I killed. I did really well. Even everybody at the show was like, so I'm like, nigga, you're a natural. You are that nigga, bruh. You are Dave Chirac.
Wow. Dave Chirac. God damn.
Oh,
You
bro.
was on one.
I was on 2. And so
Dave Chirac, ladies and gentlemen.
which leads to where it led. Now we're out of the class, right? A couple
Okay.
of the friends in the class I was learning stand-up with. We became stand-up friends. So, hey, we're out of the class. Let's go try to get on stage somewhere.
Right, y'all
you know,
kid.
get with the homies. Like, let's go try and start working. We're out here being comics.
Let's go.
So let's go. We signed up for a night at this place in Venice Beach called O'Brien's. And it was an Irish pub. They had a room on Thursday nights for stand-up, 75 people or something.
Not too big.
Oh, yes. I'm coming off a kill. So you
Yeah.
remember, I'm Dave
You
Chirac.
Dave
right
Chirac.
now.
You
I'm
didn't-
Dave
you didn't
Chirac
knock
right
shit
now.
down.
I'm killing. It's a 30-minute drive to Venice. I'm smoking joints all the way there. I'm lit.
Sounds like you.
You're natural. I'm
You
lit.
good.
Bruh. Full crowd. Full. I'm like,
76 people.
76 motherfuckers. That part. Call my name, Jamie Jones. Hey, they're ready to laugh. Like, fucking, give me a good applause.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
like, yo.
They must have seen you.
I say my first joke, crickets.
Ooh.
Not a peep. Not a peep.
Dave Chirac didn't get a peep.
Dave Chirac didn't really realize who he was in this moment. When I tell you the bead of sweat, that the bead turned into a bucket real quick. Like, it got so hot in that room really fast because my second joke did less than my first joke. So I couldn't pull myself out of it. And at the time, it was my second time on stage. I don't know addressing the bomb and try to make it a joke out of it. I just tried to
kept
plow
going.
through
Oh.
and get to my next joke.
Oh my
So
God.
by the third joke, a lady in the crowd goes, oh.
Did you move out of LA that night? Because I don't see how your ego survived, bro.
That was crushed, bro. I'm still a
Oh.
little bit hurt right this second.
Damn.
I feel it. I can make the feelings come back by telling the story, bro. So yeah, I told maybe 1.5 more jokes, and then I got what they call the light. And
You got
that's
to
when
hurry him
the-
get the fuck off the stage.
That's what I got. I got the blue light that the guy in the back holds up that means hurry up and get the fuck
Get
off
the fuck
stage,
off
like
stage.
Shadow just said.
Oh my
I got that light
God.
specifically.
Oh, you're killing me, bro. You making me sweat this
And I'm
motherfucker.
walking up
Oh
out of
my
there,
God.
bro. And I am walking up out of
Oh
there, bro.
shit. Oh.
Tail between my legs, questioning every decision I made over
Oh my
the last
God.
35 days of being in LA.
Shit.
Why did I move here? I can't do this. I can't. What the?
What is life? Why am I living right now?
That was the worst feeling ever. Like I'd rather my dad beat me. Like that was like I felt so small, bruh. So it took me
I am in tears.
it took me literally a month to get back on stage. Because
my
I was
God.
like, nah, fuck that. I'm not, nah.
That was a gut punch.
I'm gonna find a job or something, or we moving back to SAG. I don't know what's gonna happen, babe.
You was ready to come back to SAG.
I don't know what's gonna happen, babe. I'm out here though, and she damn near
Uh-huh.
pumped me into getting backstage. Like, what are we doing out here, bro? Like, if you're not gonna get back on stage, what's the plan? So,
Wifey
yeah.
said
It's
shit or
like-
get off the pot.
That's exactly
God
what it
damn.
was. It was like, bruh. I'm like, yeah, you right.
After you done came out of your depression.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Just picking myself up off the floor a month later. Yeah, you right. I guess. Oh, I guess. And then I just started going out again, man, and I realized I wasn't as good as that
shit.
first day. I wasn't as bad as that second day. Let's start
my
working. Let's start working. And I slowly started realizing, got a good 2 minutes. Then by a few weeks, a month later, had a good 5 minutes. And it took a year or something to build 15, 20 minutes of good material. I had 3 hours worth of jokes and 15 minutes worth of good material.
So you needed that ass whooping to center you
Yes.
before you got okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Wifey's
where it
been
usually
down for the
happens.
team like that. Like, why? Shout out to Wife.
Shout out.
You are the
Savage.
hero.
We always need one behind us.
Damn right. We're gonna have a threesome soon.
I don't know if we're
I
telling
lied.
jokes now
Nah, I'm just serious.
or just saying like we didn't put wifey business all in the motherfucker.
Hey,
Mrs. Jones, that was not I. I didn't ask the question for that. I wasn't pointing towards that. Please do not come after me.
We're proud, bro. 21 years married. She ain't going nowhere. We good. We good.
Damn. Yeah, but that's good because that's like
And
that's
we
like
do.
going to the homie's house and he got that dog
Yeah.
and you making him put it up and they want to tell you, no, he cool, he all right. No, motherfucker, he like that because you feed him.
Yo.
That motherfucker looking at me and actually licking his motherfucking chops. Fuck that. Put your dog away, bro.
Put your dog
away,
away,
man.
bro.
I ain't playing with you.
Hey, I be telling niggas to put their dog away often. But yeah, man, wifey's down for the cause, and she is down for a night out with the ladies. We can stop by a strip club, see what we can pull out every blue moon.
Now I know it's a lot of fellas out there jealous in the motherfucker right now. But you gotta understand, this man said he got 21 years.
Mhm.
He probably used 19 of them
No,
to
it's a-
talk her into this shit.
It was about 5.
See, it was some
Five.
planning.
It was 5 Hollywood.
Here's the Surgeon General warning: don't take your asses home thinking you got a game plan, and if he can do it, you can do it. Don't
Hey,
do that to yourself, bruh.
Bro,
Let it go.
Let me give you what you're trying to do, though. Let me give you your 2-year plan. What you're trying to do over 2 whole years or 3 whole years is you're trying to separate love and sex. Sex is a feeling, love is a feeling, and sex is an act. Sex is a cool thing we do. Love is how we feel about each other. That's the goal. So I gotta look at sex like, yeah, this just this dope thing we do. Whether we come in the same car, we leave in the same car, whatever we did is okay. Like,
I'm not fucking with you, bruh.
she got her tubes tied, so we ain't procreating no more. Now it's just fun. This ain't no marriage shit. That's for making babies. We did that.
I'm sorry for stepping off the camera for a while, because I'm nervous as a motherfucker right now. So Water.
Shout out to them.
I feel real dry mouth right now.
But back to the story. What happened in that year in doing stand up, I also got a day job in production on like Super Bowl commercials and big budget music videos.
Pause. Let's go. We done figured out 3 hours of material, 15 minutes strong on stage. Wifey is a unicorn.
Beautiful.
But now you feel the need to go get a solid day gig.
Yeah.
How did you even push into going towards doing commercials like that? Because that's not something you just look through the newspapers and find. You find McDonald's and janitorial and school security and
especially as a black dude in LA.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, so to speak, trying to join the crew. It's all you need to know somebody. And one of the guys I used to sell weed to in Sacramento, who lived in LA.
There's the weed connection.
I swear on my kids. Shout out to my nigga Reggie. Reggie's a savage. Reggie Malachi in LA. One of the best crewmen, one of the best art department guys there ever was. Been doing it 25 years. But he would come see my homie Carl every 3 months in Sac and buy a bag off me. So I would go to Carl's house, sell Reggie a bag. We'd smoke. We became that type of friend. Every 3 months, I see him, drop him off at 8th, smoke with him, and we became friends. Like, so when I moved to LA, we're friends now. I've hung out with you 11 times.
You ain't got to tell her that for.
I need some weed.
The weed man down the street.
And he hooked me up with the weed when I got to LA, and he got me a job with him on commercials.
Now, did you know commercial editing before?
No, and this was like the art department, so we was building sets. Okay. So we would pull in with this whole studio in a truck and set it all up and then get out the way and the actors would act. So we'd be the art department, put all the pictures up on the wall and set all this. I'd have all of it in my truck. For like Pepsi commercials and Subaru. My first job was Subaru. And we were building a forest on a stage.
So you didn't just jump into like doing the homies CD that's coming out. You just jumped right into the main game.
Subaru commercial that I saw 2 weeks later on TV. Like,
it was one of those commercials of the dogs.
Yeah, no.
Oh, because I love them.
But it was dope as shit because we went to, and it opened my eyes because we went to Dodger Stadium for one of the days shooting. And we turned the toll booth where you pay to get in, we turned that into a freeway toll booth. So we brought up the big trestles that put all overhead and hung all the metal and made it look like a freeway toll booth for the commercial. Damn. Like, and it looked exactly like one by the time we was done. I'm sitting there like, damn, y'all do all we did this? Like, and I was labor. I was manual labor at the time. I was
manual.
For
those who didn't catch that,
the reason I got the reason I got hired, they had 25 foot tall trees being put on a stage that they were building a forest inside for a shot. So they needed dudes to unload the truck. So Reggie felt that was the day to call Jones to get him on. We don't need much experience.
Nope.
If you come in, bust your ass, they'll call you back.
There it is.
I came in, bust my ass, saw two homies smoking weed in the corner. When I got there, it was like, we're best friends.
We have now found the side hustle at the hustle.
That was about a year later. But, so yeah, now I'm working on set during the day on these Pepsi, Snoop Dogg commercials and Rascal Flat music videos, and really the biggest of the big at the time. I'm working on commercials, McDonald's, Super Bowl ads, and all this such. So for years, I'm doing both. At night, I'm getting on stage with Esau and guys you probably know from up here. Esau's one of my good friends in LA.
Shout out Esau. Real good dude.
Also in my movie, which I will bring that up soon. So yeah, I started, and after 5, 6, 7 years, I liked the on-set stuff more than getting on stage. Okay. I didn't like a stand-up comedian's life because it was very insecure, and it was 300 days a year of travel for a successful one. Right. And for 10 years, you got to do it by yourself till you build up the clout to bring your friends. Unless you go viral and jump the line or something like that. But a real working comic is 10 years of grinding by yourself throughout. I already had a wife, so I knew I didn't want to be separated that much. And so over the time, I just started liking behind the camera stuff more. And I had a producer who liked me. I was the only black dude on set, and I just popped jokes like this. And he was like, "You cool, so you stay here with me." So he always hired me when he was working. And working with him for 4 years, shout out to Nico, he fast tracked me into being a producer on commercials. So I would start out as associate producer, just giving me the credit because I was doing stuff he was telling me to do that was producer work.
Okay.
And then it turned into being a producer. And at that time, like I'm producing on, we got an XM satellite radio commercial with Snoop Dogg, Derek Jeter, Ellen, David Bowie, Bach Cherry, and somebody else. Like
big wigs.
it's a real big XM satellite radio commercial. Yeah, so I got to work on a Spike Lee directed Allstate commercial, which is like I don't mind, like love to do. So that was super hype. But yeah, I got to meet a whole bunch of people. I just started liking that more. But I'm from SAC. We do shit ourselves. I'm not looking to get called up. I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking to own some shit.
Right.
So it's cool. I'm making a couple $100,000 a year, but I don't. I want to own it myself. I want to own the business.
Hold on, bro. You just can't say that like it's nothing. I'm making a couple $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Closer to 3, but
In LA.
it was for other people. So we got a 100-man set. I'm trying to figure out how I could do this myself. If I don't need 10 of them guys. If I had 2 of those guys, I could do this. 2 from each department, I could have my own set and book some low budget stuff. And that's what I started doing. And I started shooting music videos in LA myself.
Nice.
And we shot like 45 music videos in 2 years. Made it up to like $17,000 budgets on the videos, and that was the time where music was shrinking and the downloads, the early 2000s, where downloads and streaming was getting heavy, and
Right.
So budgets were shrinking at the time. So we made a bunch of videos, but we didn't own them. It was all servicing the client, kind of like promotion. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You
I
get
know
a
exactly what
budget,
you're
you
saying.
give you do the work, and then they take
Then
it
you
and
move
they
the hell
go
out the
make
way.
what they move
Got it.
out the way. We wanted stuff we could own and do further. So that's when I decided to make a movie. So yeah, I found the script. I told my homies, we had just made videos and commercials. We hadn't made no movies yet, so there was some stuff we didn't know. But I was like, fuck it, we could do it. My 2 homeboys was like, I don't know. I'm like, bro, we could do it. So I make a call home to SAC, one of my friends, shout out Brad. First call I made, bro was like, come on, let's do it. I was like, I can make this movie for this amount, and I think I could sell it. He was like, shit, all right, come up to SAC tomorrow. I was like, all right. I came up to SAC, he handed me a backpack, and we cashed in it. And I said, all right, fuck, I guess I'm making a movie.
Brad sounded like one of the coolest motherfuckers on the
He
planet.
was. I mean,
God
he's
damn.
not, but he was. I mean, it took 4 years for me to sell the movie. So it wasn't always cool.
Okay.
I had a lot of executive producer problems.
Right.
Why isn't this fucking movie sold, Jones? But I found the script, I found the cast, I found the money, like I said before, found all the locations with my partners, and we, as a team, made a movie. And I lucked out on making the movie because I casted a couple people that went on to become really big stars. One of them being Tiffany Haddish.
Huge star.
Also
man.
got Brian Hooks from 3 Strikes and everything else, the 25 other movies he's been a part of. I got another one called Tabitha Brown, who's like the vegan goddess right now, and like a big time actress, and she won an Emmy, I believe, this year, and she came out of nowhere recently. So I did really well, and I made the movie, and after I shot it, took me 2 years to finish it, editing and getting it right. I had to do the score on it 3 or 4 times.
Now, is that normal time?
No, I thought it'd be 7-8 months of everything.
7-8 months, 2 years.
Yeah, I had every problem possible. I had every fucking problem possible. Like in the post-production, like the score. I was hiring good producers instead of composers. instead of guys who knew emotions,
Right.
instead of good beat makers. So when I needed sad or something like that, I'm getting Saving Private Ryan marching drums and that type shit. So it's just like, it's type of shit where you get it back after 3 weeks of letting it go, and you sit with him for a week and let him go work for 3 weeks, and you get it back and there's no notes. It's like, I can't use any of this. I gotta start over. Plus, I gotta call Brad and tell him I gotta start over, and I need a few more dollars. Like, cause that would
And I just gave you a bag.
And I just gave you a bag. He gave me like 3 bags.
That's that
Until
phone call you don't want to make.
And then I had to start going in my own bag. Because after the 3 bags he cut me off after, it still wasn't done. So I had to go in my own bag and finish it. Hence why I am executive producer as well. I'll take the credit now.
Take your credit.
But it was out of necessity. So yeah, I got it done. I got it. And then I started pitching it, and the distributors were like, "Yeah, we like your movie, but we don't want to give you any money up front. We want to play it through our system. We got Netflix, we got this, we got HBO. They tell you all the places that they have that they can use it. It can be in Brazil, it can be over here. Okay, woo woo. We'll pay you quarterly off of what it does." But I know they pencil whip you like a record contract, you know what I'm saying? And they charge you back for everything, so you never reach those goals. So you got to at least get your money up front in Hollywood. You get your reimbursement of production costs, and then they start paying you out quarterly. And most companies inflate their production costs so they can make a little money. But what they were like, "No, we ain't giving you the production costs." So I had street money into it, my people. So all they did was believe my story and believed I could sell a movie. So they were
a little impatient.
So I had to tell them no, because just my name as director, executive producer, and producer, I can do the next deal. Money ain't the problem for me. Just having a movie in the gate puts me in the game. You know what I'm saying? So the money, but him, it's just a money play. He just believed me. So I got to get his money back. So I said no to the deal. I moved back to SAC to get into the cannabis industry legally. I'm in there legally now. I've been there for 6-7 years with farm, dispensary, a few other things that we work on. But I came home to get in the cannabis industry, damn near tail between my legs, fucked up from movies and with a bad taste from movies because that didn't go well. Right. And now I got it sitting on the shelf trying to get more meetings, but it went cold. But when it went cold, Tiffany Haddish started blowing up.
So here comes the answer to a prayer.
Girls Trip comes out. Like, she does a stand-up special on Showtime. Yep. She had the other movie first, before that with Keanu, with Jordan Peele movie. Right. And then it came up to her being the first black female comedian to host Saturday Night Live. Right. And that was big. Like, so I watched it intent, and I've been watching the whole time. Like, when do I send this back out? Because before it's a Brian Hooks movie. They don't even remember it's a Tiffany Haddish movie. Like, when I first sent it to them, they think it's a Brian, because Tiffany didn't have a name at all, like when I first pitched it. So that Monday, because everybody said Tiffany did great, that Monday I resent the movie back out to all the distributors, the ones that dubbed me, and a few different more. Within an hour, I got called back from almost all of them. "Oh, you do have a Tiffany Haddish movie in the can, don't you?" I forgot, because by this time her quote is $2 million to do a movie. And I have a movie in the can already, all signed off with all the signatures.
Say that.
So, come holler at me. So now they came back correctly. Was able to get my people paid and get everybody a check. And the movie streaming on Amazon Prime. It's called All Between Us, starring Brian Hooks, Tiffany Haddish.
Make sure y'all go check that out.
Please go check that out. But yeah, so we got that out, man. And I was moving in the cannabis industry the whole year and a half, and I wasn't talking about movies. I wasn't talking about the movie I made because it was a sore subject for the most part. But now all of a sudden, out of the blue, it's coming out. So I was like, I go from Jamie the cannabis guy to like, "Oh, I got a movie coming out next Friday." They're like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like, You making movies? What the fuck? Like, I've been knowing you for a year. You ain't been
now
talking
you,
about
now
no
you
guys.
also got a movie.
Yeah, you throw it out like it's
you
light.
downplay it.
It's
You know, a
light.
little
You know what I'm
something.
saying? A little something I was working on a couple of years ago and shit. You know.
Back when I was Dave Chirac.
Light work. That was Dave Chirac. So yeah, but it's turned into now the cannabis company. Some of the ones I got legit in compliance in cannabis now want to make movies with cannabis money. So it's
So your budget
marrying
is huge.
both, like, and it's just, man, I Forrest Gump my way into a great life, bro. Like, I really, I'm Forrest Gump on a black hip hop nigga from North Highlands. Like, I just followed like good times and like things I was interested in and like open minded and being a good nigga that could produce, you know, when called upon, like it just worked out. Like, but I'm not on wood all the time for
Man, if you don't put that in a journal for a testimony, I don't know what else I can fucking tell you. But on top of all of that, because see, a lot of people don't even know, you do MMA management also.
I do.
Bro, you got hella hats.
With my wife, shout out to wifey Charlene. Say one threesome queen. We manage
Threesome queen in there? God damn you!
We
My
have
stomach hurt. Oh my god.
We have yes, we have a few UFC fighters that we manage, and we're adding a couple more here now. That came out of necessity. I was boxing over at Uriah Faber's place when I got back to SAC. I taught excited. Like I started doing my podcast over there, so I started having them on as guests.
Okay.
And then they would and I would just be excited, like, yo, you got a press kit, you got like this, what you doing for sponsors? And a couple of them come back a couple of days later, like, bro, I ain't got none of that shit. And I need all of it. Can you help me with that? Like, because I don't even know what two of the things you said are. Like, and some of these dudes got 40,000 followers. And, like, you know, they're in the UFC. But they got management who gets them fights. But
Right.
nobody dealing with the brand.
Right.
And,
Which
you
is
know,
a
we
big
don't
thing.
have many pros here besides the Kings. We have the UFC fighters.
Right.
So just a lot of people here unexposed to the UFC fighters. So we love our stars here in Sacramento, small
do.
market. So if they knew them, they would love them.
Right.
You know, so it's my job to get them exposed and bring them sponsors. So I was bringing them cannabis company sponsors and making them press kits and changing their websites and just making the whole restructuring, getting themselves to look at themselves like a business instead of a fighter. And let's make money between fights. Like, so we brought on a bunch of new sponsors: the Hard Rock Hotel, the True Value Hardware, as well as a bunch of cannabis companies and things like that. So yeah, man, I work probably 13 hours a day on the regular, but I work for me. And I can move my schedule around, so it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's a nice thing. I'm trying to. One day I'm trying to be just. This is where I work only.
bro, you're only fucking 2 days away from it. I already see it.
Coming
It's
from
amazing
you,
setup,
I'll
bro.
take that.
This is an amazing setup.
Thank you
got
very
here,
much.
and I
Thank you,
love
thank
what
you.
you pushing. And like I said, for the people that don't know out there, he's one of the inspirations for what all the shit I've done. Because there was not many people in SAC being creative when we was young. There was people getting state jobs and like call center jobs. And that type of shit. People in SAC, for the most part, dreamed about supervising. They didn't dream about big companies and entertainment and things like that. Or they didn't think it was attainable. But this dude was out here moving in it from the time I was out of high school and in high school. He was moving, throwing parties, on the scene, promoting records, street teams. He had it all. He was one of those guys in the city, and there was only 5 guys in the city. But he was one of them that made hip hop move throughout Sacramento. So like we were, yeah, I was blessed to see him. I had guys like him, and he's only 3 years older than me, so I got to see it really close. I was like right behind him coming up, so I'm like, yep, I'm that. I'm that.
That
So
is a
I
big
came out.
compliment, because you done walked through some mud to see the light, bruh. Like you really doing it now. All of a sudden, so on top of that, we a genie in the bottle on the cannabis game.
Mm-hmm.
We then pulled a magic trick and got Tiffany Haddish in a movie. You I can't say it without fucking like, you were Dave Chirac.
I was Dave Chirac for a minute.
You better go get that put on a t-shirt or something. Because that shit is crazy. Then we was Jay-Z for a minute.
Yeah.
So now we'd gone to the Uriah Faber. First of all, for me, I can't even imagine you in a fight stance.
Bro, I love
like, because you was always the nice dude.
Exactly. I'm glad I picked it up at 40 and not 20. I
Oh,
would have probably tried it and been
Jamie,
lumped up.
for those of you who don't know,
'cause I
Jamie
liked it.
was one of the nicest dudes on the planet.
Comedy.
He always had a smile for you,
And jokes.
always was laughing. But now you done gone to Uriah Faber's gym
Yeah,
and you can
start
throw them
boxing.
things like rocks.
I do it. I whoop niggas' ass at the gym. I'm pretty good at it, bro. I'm pretty good at it.
I
I
gotta
don't
go
do no
see this.
jiu-jitsu or no elbows, no kicks. I don't do no kickboxing. I just box. So I stand in front of a nigga and box. But at it, I'm good. I'm a tall lefty, southpaw, with a good jab. And, like, I love it, bro. I did it 4 days a week for, like, 3 years. It's been a couple of months. But we still got a Muay Thai trainer that comes by the house and trains the wife 2 or 3 days a week.
Wifey's being trained for Muay Thai?
Yeah, she's nice with it too. Wifey is throwing her ass. She's about 6 months in. It was a Corona thing. She couldn't get to a gym or nothing, so I was like, have my man DJ come by. He fights for like Glory Kickboxing, one of the big promotions. He's like state ranked and a friend from the gym. And I was like,
Nice.
yeah, throw us in, bro. Come by the house. So he comes by, trains her and my 2 boys. So yeah, we got to fight. I be buying hella guns and shit. Like, I do all that shit, bro. I got an AR-15 too. Like, legal. I've never been arrested in my whole life.
Now, while you bullshitting, I'm
So I
waiting
can
for my
put
lord to
name
come
on
in.
it. Your
I'm
Lord
waiting for my
Lady.
Lord to come in so I can go ahead and get
So you
mine
can
done.
finish it.
Because all the shit I've done, never felon.
Yep.
So I bought my little piece, my first legit piece. We'll put it out there, but
I only
I'm waiting for
realized
the lower.
it like 5 years ago. Like, damn, I can go in here and buy anything I want. I ain't got my now. I went in and took the little dumbass test and the test is like, do you put your gun in the gun safe or on your kid's bed under their pillow? Where do you store
when you
your
talk
gun?
to somebody with a gun, do you
I'm
use your gun to point at them to make assistance, or do you
They make it the
dumbass
simplest
question?
shit ever.
You know, there's people who actually don't pass that shit.
I know.
Bruh, I went there and took the test, and I was talking to the guys, and they were saying, "Dude, we actually get people that come in here and fail this
It
test.
failed this test.
Like the only way you can fail this test is to come in here asleep."
Exactly. And they show you a practice test before you even take it. You can sit there and study a test.
And it's the
you're
same
studying
test.
it. It's like, oh, this is the dumbest shit I ever
Bruh.
seen in my life.
Bruh, this shit is crazy.
Yeah. So I went in and said, yeah, give me that 45. Give me a 38 special from my wife so she don't need nothing. Just point and squeeze at that nigga. Ain't no shells dropping. Ain't got to load this. Ain't got to worry about
Cold
doing
case
all this
files.
shit. You get a motherfucking revolver. I got her a old school shit.
Take the evidence home with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand completely.
Yep, and call them people and tell them what you did. And so yeah, man, I'm a free man American, bro. I'm into everything America got. Like, if them white dudes gonna be in it, I'm gonna be in it too,
Say
goddamn it.
that
You
there.
ain't keeping me out of shit.
Say that there.
So yeah, I just dive in. I'm curious, and I love it all. I'm like I said, I'm working on the next movie. I just shot a TV pilot last week for my man here, one of my fighters, and like yeah, I really enjoy what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Now the podcast that you do, the Wild Jones podcast show.
yes, Wild Jones Podcast
Wild
Network.
Jones, my bad.
Is a network I started a bunch of years ago. We do well through the audio, through the MP3. I'm building up my YouTube right now
Okay.
on the video, on the visual side. But yeah, it was one point where I had 9 different shows on the network, and it was just too many because I didn't have the resources and time to promote them all.
Okay.
So I had all kinds of shows. The network's cannabis based, so I usually mix cannabis with another subject. Like I had a show called Sativa Sports Talk, where it's a sports show. We smoke weed and we'll talk sports, and we'd have a lot of the fighters on from the UFC. We've had probably
It's probably a
35
million motherfuckers
fighters.
right now talking about where's that
Yeah,
show?
it's on YouTube. You can find 200 episodes on YouTube. Still out there. And yeah, so but I just stripped that down to like 3 shows.
Okay.
I have a show now called Mind of the Quiet Dude 2.0 with Jay Phillips, who's a co-host on the DL Hughley radio show.
Big comedian.
And they're on in 70 markets around the country now. So Monday through Friday, and every week he's on the road with DL. So we do our show every Monday night. I have a MMA show called the O and U MMA show, which is short for Outcasts and Underdogs. One of my fighters is UFC fighter Andre Feely, and his crew is Outcasts and Underdogs. So we do an MMA show from there.
Okay.
And then I have my interview show, which I had you as a guest on, called Keeping Up with Jones, which is one of my favorite shows. I love interviewing
It was fun.
people. Here's y'all can see I could talk. So, the Keeping Up with Jones, I just figured I'm going to keep those 3 for a minute and really just promote those vehicles and really get them up and then add them as necessity brings.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got.
You
I
got a
love what
lot.
you're doing over here, though. Shit. What's up? Can we do a show?
Man, what? It would be my honor to do a show with you, bruh.
Yeah, no.
Stop playing with me.
Don't
Shit.
threaten me with a good time.
Man,
my
please
brother.
don't. Shit.
I know you ain't supposed to be doing business on the air, but we kind of
Man,
are.
we kind of. See, that's the great thing about ownership.
You
I'll
know
do
what
whatever
I'm
the fuck I
saying?
want to on my shit. And anybody who say differently, fuck you and your mama.
Hey, yo, mama. Goddamn right.
But-
So you took a short hiatus from the spotlight, huh? What happened, man? You just needed
I
do you do
needed
this every year at the end of the year? Or was
No,
this
no,
just
no.
something
This
that was needed?
this was needed, and it was building, and it's something that as black men we don't really admit. I went through a depression, so I took that time off to get focused, take my mind off a lot of things,
Damn right.
and I got what I'm finna come up next with in this 21. Like y'all should have hoped I stayed in depression because I'm finna bust some of y'all asses on this situation, but.
Yeah.
It's just needed, and you know, I went through my time and I didn't shave, didn't get a haircut. People who saw me, they didn't recognize. I looked like a homeless dude's bear's armpit, bruh.
Yeah,
It
there's
was
people
bad.
in here agreeing and shit. I ain't
It
gonna
was
say
bad.
that. I'm sitting
Yeah,
there agreeing.
I ain't asked for the cosign, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it was bad because I had pictures of myself on the phone.
Mhm.
I had to delete them the other day because I was like, damn, I don't ever want that shit to be out.
Right.
But you know, I just went through it. But
It happens,
you know, now
bro. Mental health is a
yeah,
crazy thing.
it's
man.
crazy, and I never
once
thought I would
you-
do that.
Exactly. It's once you fall into it, it's like, yeah, and we don't. Whereas black people, we smoke a joint or have a beer. And, oh, nigga, you cool. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
do
we
that.
we don't know how to address it a lot of times as black men. So we
Right.
just, thug it out, so to speak.
Off the rip.
And when that's not how most people's doing it. Most people's addressing what's happening in some sort of aspect.
My whole thing was
Yeah,
just
man.
accepting it. I
Right.
didn't go see a counselor and do all that
Right.
little
And-
shit. I'm
exactly.
still not gonna do it, but I had to accept that I was going through it, and I did, and I wiggled through it.
Good for you.
So now I'm here and got a little bruh who's gonna come on and we gonna talk after this show about some business issues. And
Damn right.
real soon you're gonna see another show here on hype-radio.com. Now, let's go ahead and go and put this to the end so we can have this conversation. Please let the people know how they can get a hold of you if they want to do Jay-Z, Dave Sharrock, I forget dude from what was it, little white dude from
Half-Baked.
yeah,
'Cause we
Half-Baked.
go through
We
with
do it.
Dave.
at-
Let's
you
go,
know,
Dave.
Let them know how if you a fighter out there, you need some management.
If you're a
Holla,
fighter,
come on.
all my social media, I'm Jamie Jones. One word. That is Jamie Jones. JamieJones. The number 1. WORD. So the whole thing, like a Tribe Called Quest. You say Jamie Jones, one word.
Shout out Cat Williams. Boondocks. A lot of motherfuckers didn't catch it. I did.
And for a long time, a lot of people, especially kids and people, like say Jamie Jones. They don't even say Jamie. They say the whole shit. So I just had to put it.
Tribe Called
Jamie
Quest.
Jones, one word. I'm also on Clubhouse now, and my Clubhouse is getting popping. We're doing some cool rooms. Tomorrow I'm doing Fights with a Fighter for the UFC. So we'll be in Clubhouse. I got some of my UFC friends who are sitting in a room with us watching the fights on TV with the fans who join the room and can ask the UFC fighters and talk the shit. And we just kind of like we're all sitting at a fight party.
Nice.
So it's a good little thing that we do. And yeah, man, Jamie Jones, one word. The podcast is on YouTube called the Wild Jones Podcast Network. It'd be cool if y'all subscribe. We do a lot of cool shows. We do a lot of cool content. The movie is called All Between Us. It's streaming on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can stream it for free. You can go to Walmart.com or Amazon and buy it if you wanted a hard copy.
Support.
And yeah, man, and some other shit. Shout out to Pot Kings, the delivery here in Sacramento, sacramentosbestweed.com. And we're out here, man. Salute to everybody else.
Man.
Salute to Hype Radio.
Man.
The hype is real.
To be named amongst all that greatness, I'll take that. Because, hype-radio.com. Make sure you tune in each and every motherfucking day because we 24/7. You may not hear us talking a lot, but you're going to get that good music that you need through the day to get you there. Make sure if you are not following, Hype Radio is Real on Instagram. If you need some promotions and marketing, shadow_promotions. I got you. Make sure you pay attention because we got a lot of shit coming up.
25 years.
Ain't been done in a while, but I got a Valentine's Day package coming up. Some of y'all gonna need that Jesus help, and I got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Got you.
Just tune in. If you have some good music, keyword good music in MP3 format. Don't send me some shit you made on your phone in the bathroom while talking to auntie, and don't do that. MP3 format, studio sound. Send it to itshyperadio@gmail.com. If it's good, I'm going to rock with you. If it's not, I will send you back saying, please do not stop shaking the salt on the fries at McDonald's. You are not made for this game.
Can me and you do a show with all the bad submissions?
We gonna talk about that later, man. Because that might be we gonna erase your minds so nobody else can put an idea. We got this. Stop playing. Because that might be the show of the year. Fuck. Ooh, I got an idea for it too. Let me go ahead and get off this head. This is hype-radio.com. You have been with me with Jamie Jones here on the Spotlight. I am Man Shadow, and we out. 21 is on. Woo, I'm so doing that shit. Don't nobody take my idea. You bastards don't take my idea. God damn.
That could be fun, man.